Bring it up a little bit. You don't want to have a head business enough, you know. Come back a little bit so I can see what's on the left. That's cool. Or should I back it up some?
Let me see if they could. Let's see if they can see us when we're sitting right here.
Let me back it up a little bit. There really ain't no way to not get the screen, but that's good right there, actually.
Yeah.
We the same height too, so we straight. Can I angle it this way?
Yeah, I think so. Pull it back a little bit, maybe.
We straight there.
Maybe lifting it up, pulling it up.
From down here?
I think it should work from the top. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Here, you got that if you want that.
Yeah, good looking. See this too? Yeah. Yeah, right in the way that, yeah. Come on. No.
I'm in the way of the markets. I'm in the way of the chart.
Oh, God.
Alright, we good. That should work. Turn that on.
Let's switch.
You sure?
Yeah. All right, bet.
All right, you guys. You guys already know, man. We're gonna be coming with the SPY breakdown, man. We're gonna be talking about the S&P 500, man. As always, we're gonna be talking about the S&P 500. We're gonna be talking about SPY. We're gonna be talking about Bitcoin. We're gonna be talking about the Full Circle Wealth portfolio, man. First and foremost, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, man. How you feeling today, Flash?
Feeling good. You know, it's a Wednesday. First off, let's start there. So definitely feeling good. It's Wealth Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we got Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy to be with the fam. You know what I'm saying? It's a happy time to be with the fam every day, but you know it's extra special. Usually, all the family comes together. You know, Thanksgiving. You know how it gets. So, yeah, I'm feeling good. What about you?
Man, feeling good, man. You know, I'm gonna piggyback on the things you said, man. You know, we got the family coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got, you know, the end of the year approaching, man, and it just feels good. You know, we've been grinding all year, and 2026 going into 2026, we got good momentum. You know, before we get started, man, let's start with one small thing that we're grateful for, you know, and definitely right now, I'm grateful for these markets, man. You know, just looking at these markets, man, I'm grateful for these markets. I'm grateful for, you know, being able to understand the markets, being able to, you know, have something to actually want to work towards and, you know, grow myself in, and, you know, a skill that I actually enjoy, and, you know, just the money that we can make in the stock market, the knowledge that we can get from the stock market, the things we learn about ourselves when it comes down from investing into the market, just the financial markets in general. I'm definitely thankful for that, man, because this is it's a purpose, and I'd be pretty lost, or definitely not knowing what I wouldn't want to do if it wasn't for this. So, how about you, bro?
Yeah, I'm thankful for the process. Right, we've been here for this whole year. You know what I'm saying? Getting to it, sticking to it as well. I'm thankful for, you know what I'm saying, the consistency that we have. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for Full Circle Wealth too. Just the overall, the process. You know what I'm saying? And making progress as well. That's thankful for everything that we've been through this year. On top of the markets, man. Look at these 4 candles. We go get to that in a second, but just like he said, just thankful for the ability to master the charts, right, and master financial literacy, you know, and learning to perfect that skill, as well as doing it together. It's my guy right here, right? So yeah, it's the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it, man. It's the only way to do it. But yes, sir, man. Like Flash was just talking about, man. We was talking about these candlesticks and getting into these candlesticks, man. Man. This chart is looking nice. I'm excited about this chart, man. I'm feeling good about this chart, man. So let's take a look at, you know, what's been going on this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, right? This last week, right? If you guys don't understand that we're on the daily chart, meaning each of these candles represent a daily chart, right? So if you guys want to follow along with us, go up to TradingView, open up SPY, and you will see the same chart that we're looking at. We're on the daily time frame, right? So right here, man, if we start back here last 7 days ago, man, that was last Tuesday. Let's go back to last Tuesday. So about eight days ago now, right? We hit a low. We came from, the high of like 680s around where we're at now. We came from where we're at now. We were rejected, and we came all the way back down to 653. You guys even see this long candle. People were panicking this day, bro. You remember when people were panicking this day? Every time somebody sees a long red candle, people panic, right? But Flash, I want you to tell them what you feel and what you think of when you see a long red candle like this. Yeah. What's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is, first off, what's going on with the world? Let's start there, right? Mm-hmm. And so, being the traders that we are, right? I know, being the trader that I am, you asked me the question. Being the trader that I am, I usually look for the cause, right? And what is the reason on why we have this long candle? So I'm already looking for that. I get in kind of detective mode for one. Two, after I figure out what the problem is, I then look at the portfolio like, damn, like what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see how much damage is done, how much collateral damage was done to the port. Then, if the chance is right, what I was invested in was, it took a dip, right? Then on a good day, I'll buy the dip. I did not buy this dip, but more times than not, I'm gonna buy the dip and go on from there. And we see, if we getting in that dip, this is the SPY market, right? But if we were to be looking at something else, and we see this same dip on another chart in a tech company, right? Google, Meta, Apple, that'd be a perfect place to buy. So yeah, that's how I handle those situations.
Yeah, and I think that you handle that perfect. I'm just trying to emphasize removing the fear to you guys. When we see this right here, we see opportunities, right? If you're able to see the screen at all, you have one big red drop, one candle right here, and then you have another candle right here. And what happened both times? What we did was we bounced off that 653 and we recovered, right? The time before this time, we bounced up and recovered. We ended up going from 653 all the way back up to 689. This time we ended up going back to 653, and now we're at 681 right now, right? So SPY's moving back, man. I got these orange lines set up here because this was the high that I need that I wanted to see us get over, and this was the low that would have told me that we were going to go back to the downside if we ended up going back towards that 665 level. So that's SPY for you guys, man. SPY is moving back up. We're moving back to that 689 range. It's looking like, it wants to hit that 700 before the year ends, right? And, I'm still betting on that to happen. I'm still hoping we hit that 700. It's been a long year. Anything you want to touch on SPY before I move to Bitcoin?
Yeah, just the fact that this entire week has been an up week, right? Just like you were saying, we hit that low. What level was that resistance right there or support, sorry.
Right here?
Yeah.
653.
653, just like you said, in the last, this whole week been an up week, broke the level, the high that you was looking for, and yeah, you see what we're doing, as well as it being a short week too, so, we're getting back to what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and so with that, you want to let's hop into
Bitcoin. Damn.
And we still got your line that you had set out last week when you was talking about how it taps each and how we're looking for what happens on each tap. We still got that going there. Bitcoin hit that low of 81,000.
Yep.
Bounced right back up.
But you see, we didn't come down to this 75 mark. We did get real close to it, right? And so it's showing you that there is some potential, right? That we're not fully out of the bull market, but it was close, right? Like we're coming to places where it's getting tricky, right? And then just responding about today too. It's been how many points is that?
5%.
5%.
So we was 5% off.
Yep. And gapped up. We kind of we went through that support level, but gapped straight up. Today, I think it was I think it was Monday too. It was a up day all day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, today this is today's candle.
We're still on the daily.
This is Monday's candle. Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is Monday's candle. It was an up day.
Yep. So from Sunday, we've been moving up. You know what I'm saying? We get heavy investing, big whales buying more Bitcoin, and you know what I'm saying. I hope somebody got a little bit of piece of that right there. Overall though, zoom out for me a little bit.
Zoom out.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yep, got you. Like right here.
Yep. You seen? We're coming from that high right there. Was that 124? And what was that, October?
Yeah.
And so we've been declining for about what day exactly is that? I think that's the 24th for a whole month.
6. It looks like it's the beginning of October.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, the 6th. Yep. So about almost a month and a half. You know what I'm saying? Falling down. Right. We're on the slow decline. How many points?
33%.
33%. You see where we're going. So that also gives you an opportunity. Let this be an opportunity for you as well, because you've seen that we're where we've been, right? And you know, towards the end of the year is when things start to usually, according to last year, right? Everything begins to balance out, and you know, begins to uptrend in towards the end of the month, quarter 4, or end of the year, quarter 4. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to see that. We're at 89,000 right now. Yeah.
Anything else you wanna look
at? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Everything else looks the same if we go to XRP.
Yeah.
All these charts kind of look the same. It's super downtrend since October. Yeah. That says July or August. Okay.
You know, but I got a question.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, when it comes down to crypto, and even let's take a look at maybe SPY a little bit. No, it's on crypto. So when it comes down to crypto, and we see those moments where these long wicks, right? Let me get this up out of here. But those long wicks that I circled, right? We see it right here on Bitcoin. We've seen it on XRP, right? And let me take it. Let's go to H-bar and so tell me, what do you have to say about these long wicks, and what would they might represent? Because it seems that, you know, what this wick is telling us, we went as low, right, as this price, but we ended up coming right back up and closing right up here. Yep. So when we see these wicks, what does that usually indicate you?
This indicates that there is, it's kind of like there's a lot of liquidity down there, right? And there's a lot of people so with crypto, the main difference between say like stocks and crypto is the fact that it starts from, like, an IPO is the set price for a company, right? Rather than a crypto is set by the amount of investors it's the same thing, but it's the way that it functions is a little bit different. So a crypto can start out as 5 cent. You don't really have any. You have penny stocks, but Google didn't start out as a penny stock, ultimately, is what I'm saying. So the thing is, you see this big uptrend as well, this big green, multiple green candles. There's a lot of money and liquidity that is sitting right there. And so what I was saying was when people go and invest, there's people that's been in since 5 cent, right? 10 cent, 30 cent. And so that could be one of the factors right there, as well as whales, right? They're buying heavy at that set low price. And when they get to maybe their exit, right? Maybe hit a mark on their exit strategy, price is falling. And you see that right here. And so, and just like you said, we did close, right? And so it was a big dip. That day, it was a crazy day for the markets. Everything was down that day, too. It was wild. And so, ultimately, it's an opportunity, right? And just being able to just like you were saying about fear, you don't have to be, when you see something like this, look at it more as an opportunity rather than be fearful because of the potential upside. What price was that at the very low? You couldn't even get in low key, but was that 7 cent?
Yeah.
Right? And so that was October 11th. You would have doubled your money. Say you put $1,000 in, price for H-bar right now sitting at 14 cent, almost 15 cents. So you would have literally 2x'd your money just right there alone. And it's still in downtrend. So, right? And back to the Bitcoin, you see that there's nothing but potential, right? And I was saying something that Chris Johnson was saying too. It's like he had posted like this meme where it's a lot of people lined up to buy Bitcoin at 124,000, but there's nobody lined up to buy it at 89,000. And it blew my mind because of how true it is, right? A lot of people aren't seeing this as a opportunity. They're seeing it as like, damn, the market is down. I'm not getting in that, right? I'm not buying that. When in reality, that is probably the worst investing mistake that you can make because of the potential upside. You see that also we've hit this level multiple times, this white line. We've hit this level and crossed it below multiple times and went straight back up. So, yeah. I kind of rambled, but yeah, just to give you a...
That was all valid.
Yeah.
That was all valid.
Give you a range.
Yeah, and I want to just piggyback up on that and just emphasize again, man, we buy these assets you buy low, sell high, man. So do not be afraid when you see these prices go to a low. You need to train your mind to think, ooh, this is an opportunity, truly, because this is the opportunity, right? Like he was saying, it's absurd that people want to line up. It's like think about your favorite pair of shoes, right? Are you gonna line up to buy your favorite pair of shoes that you've been wanting your whole life when they're at the highest? Are you gonna line up when they're at the highest at 124,000, or are you gonna wait and buy as soon as you can when you see they're at 83,000 or 89,000 or 80,000, right? So that's all it is when it comes down to these asset prices, man. You want to buy at the low, man. Buy at the low. So I want to get into Netflix a little bit, man. This is a new addition to our full circle wealth portfolio that we've been talking about, man. Netflix had their split recently. I plan on getting them at a little later price, around like 90 or so like that. But man, I saw them at $105, and I saw that Wall Street Trapper copped them, so I had to cop, man. So I had to cop them at $105. So we added Netflix to our full circle wealth portfolio. We've been talking about it. They did the split. So now, if anybody else wants to buy Netflix as well, man, you can buy Netflix at the price of $106 right now, right? I bought at the price of $105. We came from that high of $126 before the split with a high, 52-week high of $133, right? And
that was before the split, right?
Yeah, that was all before the split.
Yeah.
So I think that, I don't know, I think that's like 1,133, 1,300. So yeah, man, we took advantage of the split. Netflix is how much percent is that from the high? They're 20% from their high, right? So they hit a low of 20%, right? So I copped them at a 20% discount, man. That's not a bad deal right there. Cop and Netflix to the new portfolio, man. You got anything you want to touch on about Netflix? How you feel about Netflix, man? We got some news right here.
Yeah, get into Netflix, right? We were kind of we didn't really shed too much light on the split. I don't think we were talking about it off camera, but
oh, did we? Was that off camera?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I know we did talk about it.
Yeah, we did talk about it for sure. We added it to the, you know what I'm saying? We did. Nevertheless, it was just like you were saying. It was about 1,300. For one, they did the split 10-1, making their each one of their instead of one share being $1,000. If I bought a Netflix share at $1,000, then it was split into 10. It's a 1-to-10 split, and so right, getting in at 105 and the 52-week high at 130, you see where price could go, right? There's potential, right? And Netflix is a growing company. They're partnering well with a lot of people. They're expanding into pay-per-view, right? They're expanding into entertainment. Netflix has, and this news right here says Netflix has made a preliminary buyout offer for Warner Bros. Discovery, which is considering setting its movie studio and HBO Max to boost its content and falling viewer engagement. So, to me, I'm gonna touch on it a little bit. I know, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. To me, it sounds like Netflix know that they're in a. It says the words that they used was falling viewer engagement. So what they're trying to do is find ways to better their engagement, right? So that means they're trying to buy Warner Bros., which is huge, right? Warner Bros. is a production company, and they own a lot of movies. Let's start there. Like, at least 10 of your favorite movies is produced by Warner Bros. For sure. Right? And so 20 of them. But they're trying to buy HBO or incorporate HBO as well as Warner Bros. Into their platform, which would then boost not only their engagement, like that's their problem that they're trying to fix, but the price of the stock, right? If Warner Bros. Could sign that deal, and they become, it said a buyout, right?
Yeah.
So they're not even partnering. Netflix is trying to buy Warner Bros. Right? Can you look up what's that evaluation talking about? How much are they trying to spend on Warner Bros.?
$70 billion, but a roughly $70 billion outlay also would send defensive signal from the industry leader. I don't know if that. I don't read actually Netflix how they can pay. Have never paid $1 billion for acquisition in a company's nearly 3 decades, making it especially odd to see them in hunt for Warner Bros. Owning and covered film and would keep it away from competitors. A roughly $70 billion outlay also sends defensive for industry leader on paper at least destroy value before it really Wait, $450 billion.
Right, exactly. So that's just what the market is looking like, right? That's the market for this streaming or for Warner Bros. It says the 450 billion streaming service.
Oh, that's Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The 450 billion streaming service is one of the 3 suitors for Warner Bros. I don't know what the D stands for. Whose portfolio includes HBO Max. Hold on, I'll go back a little bit. HBO Max subscription business and catalog featuring everything from Casablanca to Abbott Elementary. Reuters reported cable operator Comcast is interested in the same prices David Ellison's Paramount Skydance wants the whole empire, including CNN. So this is a lot bigger than what we thought it was. Netflix is just a bidder to Warner Bros. There's a lot of people that want a piece of Warner Bros. Too, and include them into their streaming platform like Comcast, which is crazy. And then Paramount, that's also a big production company. And that said that they want the whole empire, so that is including
he wants CNN, Discovery, wow.
And yeah.
Empire, including CNN, Discovery, and other networks. Acquiring the studio.
Acquiring the studio behind the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings, which are crazy franchises, right? There's at least, not only does everybody knows Harry Potter for one, let's start there, but Harry Potter has, I think, like 4 or 5 movies, as well as books for each one of those movies and some. And those all, you can find a Harry Potter book in any library you go to, whether if it's a thrift library, as well as Lord of the Rings. These all tell amazing stories. So, yeah, this is kind of wild. I'm glad that we looked into this because, this bottom statement at the bottom, it says Comcast or Paramount will be in position to choke off some access to Warner Bros. WBD. I don't know what the D stands for. I'm not gonna lie. This is crazy though. It licensed half of what it offered customers last year, down to 70% in 2020.
Oh, so bro, so that's crazy. So with this graph, so let's pull up this graph right here because I was looking at it this whole time, not knowing what it was, but now it's telling us Netflix is making more of its own TV shows and movies, which we have been seeing on Netflix. You know, I don't watch Netflix all the time, but when I do pull up Netflix, man, I see that you always see a Netflix original, and then on top of the Netflix originals, they're usually like a household name. Like they go viral throughout the whole country or whatever. You know, everybody watches them. So long story short, you had in 2020, they were licensing 70% of their content and only 30% producing. And then 2021, they went to 60% licensing, producing 34%, 55% licensing, all the way to 45% producing. Now, for the last 2 years, they've been 50% licensing, 50% producing their own content, right? And 50%. So that's been 2023, 2024, now 2025, they may even be producing even more of their content. And they're also not even licensing their content, but they're looking to get the right content to license, right? Because, you know, that's puts them in a different category than Hulu, Tubi, Disney Plus, right? When they're able to get these, because Netflix has these shows and these entertainment this entertainment that's different than all the other platforms, right? They have the best of the best quality.
Yeah.
So it's dope to see that they're producing more of their content, and like you was talking about, man, this isn't gonna do anything but make the stock go up go up even more because, man, like Netflix they're transitioning from only licensing to producing.
Also, another lens, they're moving from just a streaming company to a production company, right? This blue is the licensed content and the orange is produced, just like you said. And so with the produced, that we could see a 70-30, right? And that's all revenue at that point. That's all, yeah. But on the flip side, for retail, what I'm thinking is instead of like $20, I think it is, or like $22 for a Netflix subscription, we might be getting charged more just to fill them gaps because Warner Bros., like I said, is a huge production company, and so they are, and the big names that are named is Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. That would be crazy if Netflix came out with another Harry Potter or something like that.
It's right here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put the glasses back on. Let me see one more time. Right here. There's another reason for Netflix to be in the mix. It's losing viewers' attention. U.S. subscribers watched approximately 63 billion minutes during the first week of January, which dropped to 45 billion in the third quarter. A Bernstein analyst found the ascendancy of YouTube and its user-generated clips is probably a big factor. So when we did talk about Netflix, it was the fact that they're trying to cultivate a market, but at that time we didn't peep that they're really trying to be the market maker. You know what I'm saying? And definitely way bigger than YouTube because we know what YouTube is. And YouTube isn't a streaming platform, what I was saying. You can watch movies on YouTube, right? And so Netflix is trying to take all the pie and leave the crumbs for everybody else.
Yeah, man. Because right now, forget about a Netflix and Hulu war. Forget about a Netflix and Tubi war, and Disney Plus war. Man, Netflix it's Netflix and YouTube. Yeah. We got to see who's gonna win this race. And truthfully, I could definitely see both of them. I don't think it's like only one against the other. I think they have a place for each of their own category type of thing. Like I know that they are competing, but when it's all said and done, they also do serve different audiences, different people. Like you and I are more likely to watch YouTube over Netflix, right? But then you have the people who don't think about education as much or business as much, and they're watching Netflix and not even really thinking about YouTube. But then you also have the fact that they're both ingrained into our lives. You can't really have, I don't want to say you can't really have, but like most people don't just watch one or the other. It's almost like both, right? But they may watch one more than the other. So it's dope to see that Netflix is competing for sure. They're making a whole new lane, man, and they're really solidifying themselves in that space, man. Netflix could have been dropped a long time ago, and especially with how they having sports on there now, they having the fights on there now. So Netflix is definitely a good buy, man. Copy some Netflix at 106, man. Another reason why I wanted to mention is because it's affordable, man. It's very much affordable, right? Like you guys could own some assets for $100, man, instead of going to spend the $100 on whatever else, right?
Because what's the price of Google?
Like $300. Google just hit $300. $323.
And they own YouTube. Sorry for the disconnect. Right?
Yeah.
So you could get that cheaper option if you wanted to invest. It's $300 for the Netflix, or for the Google stock, right? You can go get that Netflix for just $100. And so remember when we were talking about how the split is it beneficial for them to do the split because NVIDIA did the same thing and they were kind of deemed overvalued, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why Netflix also did their split too, because people were saying that they become overvalued. And so now, looking at the bigger picture, right? It wasn't making sense. I was worried about the fact that they were gonna drop. But nah, it's looking good.
Yeah, and which they did drop from that one, or when did they do the split? They did it right over here, like around like 114 or so, and they did drop a little bit, but it wasn't too bad, you know. And more often than not, the stock does move a little different after the split, but we're gonna see what happens. 106, a buy at $100 is not bad, right. So we're gonna definitely see what happens. Before we move into, we want to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and stuff and what goes on in Thanksgiving in the market, man. I just want to touch on Meta real quick, dude. Yeah. We're gonna make this a little quick, but man, Meta right here, you guys know I've been talking about Meta, man. Meta recently hit that low of $577 when it came from a high of $680, almost $700, man. I lost a bag in Meta, right? But I also bought a lot more when it went down in Meta, and I got to the point where now in the full circle, well, portfolio, we have a full share of Meta, right? So Meta dipped to that 578 range, and I was able to buy at that 578 range. I was able to buy at 630. I was able to buy at the top. I was just dollar cost averaging, man. But I'm bringing it up just to say, I've always had my faith, right? And I've always wanted to own this stock. Last year when we talked about it, one of the stocks that I feel like I missed out on, but I should have owned was Meta. And now we're in it, and we got a full share, and we hit that low of 578. People were panicking, people were scared. I lost a lot of money, and this is a good example, a good case study of the fact that even though I did lose, I bought more, and now we're going right back up from 578. We're going to 634. We're reaching 642 again, and we'll be coming right back up plus more. And that's the art of just buying a dip, man, and dollar cost averaging, man. So. Meta definitely still got faith in them, man. They're the backbone to this VR. They got a lot going on with AI. They're the backbone to our social media, Facebook, Instagram. You throw WhatsApp in there. You even got their display glasses. So Meta's going crazy, man. This is definitely a top stock for me, and I'm glad that I could proudly say I'm an owner, man. Don't be surprised if I come on here next Wednesday with a Meta hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me see what I can cook up real quick. Let's see if we got some Meta hoodies. Meta hoodies, Meta merch.
Ooh.
You feel
33.
Man, this ain't meat.
Meat.
Don't nobody want no
Yeah,
meat.
but come on, man. That ain't full circle, man. That's Amazon. That's why they be playing on here.
Come on, Amazon.
It's a official meat Meta hoodie.
Official meat hoodie. What?
Dog.
I'm trying to see the Meta merch.
Oh, yeah, right here. Oh, but it says glasses and headsets. Damn.
Hey.
Oh, well, the logo is cool. You know what it is. Everybody know that.
Man, this some bullshit. Excuse my friend. Meta, get right, man. I'm trying to buy some Meta merch.
Where the merch at?
Yeah, man, but you want to touch on Meta before?
Low key, they passed all their earnings too, except for November, and this is why that gap down. So, yeah, what you were talking about, the reason, which led to you having a whole share of Meta, right? And so, shout out Meta. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out for them missing their earnings, right?
And people, this is why I tell you not to panic, because in the grand scheme of things, Meta is still in the uptrend, man.
Right.
It's still in an uptrend, and in this uptrend, this little hiccup is really nothing, right? You got this, and you got this little small hiccup, and we ain't gonna do nothing to go back up. So,
is that a double wedge? That double top?
Nah. A double top is let me see.
It gotta kind of be in the same range.
Yeah. In the same range.
Yeah.
This could be something like a double top.
Yeah. But see, if they would have passed their earnings, it might have been looking good.
They did me good. Thank you for not passing those earnings, man.
Right.
Thank you.
And now you see the importance of that as well. Like, you see the market gives you plenty of opportunities to get in and get you a piece, right? And so just now, full circle moment right here, right? He was given this opportunity to get in and get him a share, a whole he's been dollar cost averaging since a long time, right? But we've been talking about this, and we was doing live streams outside. You feel me? We've been talking about meta, and so, yeah. Touchdown.
So today we got a little bit of knowledge about the market, man. We got a little bit of knowledge about the market, man. We did our SPY breakdown, we did our Bitcoin breakdown for Full Circle Wealth Portfolio Breakdown, but we got a little bit of Thanksgiving data. You know, some research that I did on the market when it comes down to Thanksgiving. Some things I didn't know that I wanted to share with you guys and discuss with my boy Flask here. So first, Thanksgiving week is historically bullish, right? If you guys don't know what bullish and bearish means up in the market, bearish means down in the market, right? So historically, Thanksgiving week is historically going up, right? Over the last 50 plus years, Thanksgiving week is one of the most consistently green weeks of the year, right? SPY tends to drift upward due to low volume. You get fewer hedge funds trades because the hedge funds are closed this week. You get reduced volatility, and you get seasonal optimism. This is why you often see slow grind up candles, right? As we were just talking about it, here's our proof right here. We definitely see a few slow grind up candles, right? Wednesday. So we got Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. That's today. We here. Historically, this is one of the strongest days of the week, right? You get an average positive return. You got volume that starts dropping sharply. Traders call it the low volume melt up. And today we had a strong day. Markets is closed now. We're at post market. Literally just closed a minute ago, right? It's 1:01 p.m. We hit a high of 680, but we ended up closing right here at 679, man. That was some good stuff. We closed above the 675, the high of yesterday. So we're in good bull territory, man. All this stuff is looking about right. Black Friday, right? So Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, man. So this Friday we're gonna have a early close, right? Market closes at 1 p.m. So that's like 10 a.m. for us, I believe, over here on the Pacific. Key traits, you get very low volume. Most big players don't trade. SPY tends to be slightly green or completely flat. Algos run the market, not humans. This is why you rarely see huge moves, right? You know, so it's looking like this week we're gonna end up on a green week, a good week. So the Monday after Thanksgiving, right, this is what they call the trap day, right? This is the part most beginners do not know, right? This is something new to me as well. The Monday after Thanksgiving often brings reversals or profit taking, right? Funds reset positioning for December, right? Volatility returns because volume returns. If SPY runs into resistance during the short week, Monday is where you often see the pullback, right? Okay. Exactly.
That's fire, low key.
That's fire. So, you know, we see resistance in this short week. Or Monday, we can see the pullback, right? So typical sequence, like we just talked about, man. Tuesday to Wednesday, we've seen that slow grind up, which is what we saw this week. You can even throw Monday in there. Black Friday, you see it flat to slightly bullish. You get random micro moves. And the following Monday, man, you get the volatility that returns. You get pullbacks or consolidation, right? And he wanted to finish it off, right? It's not magic, it's structure. Funds pause trading for the holidays. Retail traders dominate. We are the retail traders, and we are usually bullish. Market makers widen spreads. Algos push prices towards liquidity. No major economic data releases. We have no earnings, no FOMC until after the holiday. Essentially, this is a point where the market rests and then it wakes up. So for us as traders, here's how we should use this, right? Some things that we can do is not force trades on a Black Friday, right? So not forcing trades on a day of bad liquidity and messy price action, right? Wednesday normally gives the clean trends. We saw clean trends today. We picked the direction, right, and ride it. We saw the direction to the upside, and that's all we did, right? We can go on the hourly. I mean, all we did was go up today. So expect a pullback or volatility spike the following Monday, right? And now that I don't want to get into all that. Pick levels ahead of time. Light weeks or structured weeks, not news weeks. So, how you feel about any of this new data, man? This is something that was definitely interesting to me and helped me gauge what goes on during Thanksgiving. And you know, I think as traders and investors like us, man, we can definitely take advantage.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And then Cyber Monday being the pullback, you know, first year. This is my first year as a trader, right? And so, kind of realizing like Cyber Monday always is crazy, low key. Yeah. Like every Monday after Thanksgiving for at least like the past 3 years has been wild. And I just remember the world being not like damn, but like you could tell this is exactly what we were talking about here. That Monday, that pullback and that volatility, or what you said specifically was the market wakes up, right? Without even being in the market, I've definitely seen Cyber Monday be that wake up call. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. And then you named 4 things that, as a trader, slow down a little bit.
Yep, I got you.
Right there, as the trader, that's 4 key details in preparation for Monday, right? So, low key, what I think we should do is when it comes to we talked about this today, right? And it says pick levels ahead of time. I know you said you didn't want to go too deep in that. I peeped on the charts. No, just a little bit. Just you know what I'm saying?
You want to go to the charts?
Yeah, real quick. You kind of see right where we had opened. We had closed right here at this level too. So you know what I'm saying. That's we got stuff to mark out, right? And it said the fourth rule was pick your levels ahead of time. So we got things to work with. You know what I'm saying, for not only the rest of this week, or Friday's a short day, but on Monday, like you said, market's gonna wake back up. We're gonna see what we're talking about.
Yeah. So over this weekend, right? Over this time of enjoying our time with the family, we definitely got time to look at the markets for a little bit and pick out our levels after this Friday comes around, man. Even possibly doing it, today and tomorrow, because we have a whole free off day tomorrow. You can look at the market; it's not moving. You can get out them levels and pick whatever levels you think and see what happens Monday. I'll be picking out some levels that I may think that market may pull back into or reject from. So we'll definitely be looking at that. But there's definitely some good information.
Yeah.
So before. How you feeling, man? You want to move into the personal?
Yeah, we could. I wanted to. I think it's time to add a new addition to the Full Circle Wealth portfolio.
Oh, let me know.
Let's add gold and silver.
Yep.
And this a whole different type of ball game when it comes to assets, right? Because we haven't really talked about gold too much. Yo, Wanda, you already know. We haven't really talked about gold too much, or silver, right? But the thing about these two are the fact that they are hard assets, right? You can go to the pawn store and go get gold and silver, right? And many other precious metals. But I think it's time we gotta put that in there. It's XAG, I mean. Maybe I lied. No, yeah, right here. XAG.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. I think the gold chart looks the same. You can go work for that to be. What is GOD? Is that ETF?
Yeah, GOD is how you buy gold shares in the market.
Got you. Okay.
We can have GOD. We can have XAU.
Oh, and third one. Yeah, these are hard assets that you can not only you can accumulate and buy ETFs with, but you know what I'm saying, for the real investors, right, and know what's up with the dollar and how gold is a reflection of what our dollar is doing for our economy, right? So rather if it's losing value or gaining a little bit of value, when you see gold rise, that means the dollar's falling, right? And when you see gold fall, that means the value of the dollar is rising. Not too deep into that, but adding those to the Full Circle portfolio is important because not only you can have crypto, you can have stocks, but you can have tangible assets that you can physically grasp, right? And it was time to put those in there,
Mm-hmm.
And it was time to also think about grabbing those as well. I haven't personally been to any pawn stores or where they sell precious metals, but that time is coming very soon because the potential for gold is, I should have capitalized and thought about this a long time ago, but we are here now and this is where we're, what I'm saying? We can go get I think it goes by a different type of scale as well. Like when you when you purchase it, you're not gonna go buy a whole kilo of gold, which is 4.1 thousand, right? You want to go get maybe a couple grams, which is I think it's like $100, depending on where you get it from, the premium.
I think what they're showing us, I think it's an ounce of gold or something.
Yeah,
like that.
troy ounce. Yeah.
Troy ounce.
Yeah.
4,000 for a troy ounce. Yeah, man. Gold and silver, I'm with you.
Yeah, and then silver too. Silver it's a lot easier to buy because it's only $50 for a troy ounce. So, say I had $200, I can go get at least 3.5 troy ounces, right? And go get that done. And go. Is this what it looks like over time?
I have no idea.
From a scale?
I think so.
And we're at a high right now for
index moving across the course of previous years. So I guess 2025 we moved up 80%. So
yeah, crazy. I don't know if that's picking that up, but that gap between 2025 and 2020 is insane. That's a $47.
2020.
Yeah. So yeah.
47%.
Oh.
Yeah, 47% in 2020. This year from January.
And that's in August? Oh, that's 24 though. Okay, but in a year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for
triple, double.
So we're at 80%. Yep, that's right. 80% from January 2025 to now.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Right, and that's silver too. So the gold chart's looking even crazier. I think gold was like 2,000 at the beginning of this year. Was it 3?
Yeah, it was in this. This looks like it was
2,000.
2020.
Come on.
2,800.
So imagine having this hard asset, this tangible asset, sitting at $2,000. You're about a troy ounce for $2K.
Yeah, gold is up 60%, and you got silver up 80% both this year.
Right. Nothing but opportunity there. I would definitely come with a little more game when it comes to both of these hard tangible assets, and maybe even in these future Full Circle Wealth live streams, you may even see us with tangible assets like either gold or silver. So, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. We could definitely figure out how to go about going to a pawn shop or going anywhere. If we buy if we buy $50 worth of silver, and if we buy a little bit worth of gold, and just showing you guys how we did it, so you guys can know how you can do it as well. Because this is new to the both of us. These safe haven assets, you know what I'm saying?
Safe haven.
Yeah, so the silver and gold, they're going up so much this year due to the fact that, there's been so much uncertainty in our economy. And when there's uncertainty, they go to the things that are certain. Gold and silver, you can't go wrong. So this is definitely an eye-opener to me. So when gold and silver possibly has a little small pullback, I got to cop some, man. Yeah. I got to cop some.
It's also, for those who don't know, a quick little fact. Once upon a time, the U.S. economy was backed by gold. If you didn't know that, we had gold. The government was, I think it was like it might have been like 1913 or like 1920, where you were being able to,
No, what was you about to say?
You were able to buy gold, but because the dollar was being devalued, right, and there were the money printers were on so heavy, the price of gold got reevaluated and it got shot up. So this is why we see this. 71. I was wrong as hell. But
I had looked up when it stopped being backed by gold.
Yeah. It says the government held the 35 per ounce price until August 15th, 1971, when President Richard Nixon announced that the United States would no longer convert dollars to gold at a fixed value, thus completely abandoning the gold standard. And that's what it was called, the gold standard. This is when you could buy gold, and your money that you could convert your dollar bills into gold, and that was just like you said, a safe haven asset until we stopped using gold for 1-to-1, kind of like, yeah. It wasn't a 1-to-1, so now our money isn't backed by gold anymore. It's backed by the amount of what's being pushed out by the money printers, right? And so ultimately what I was saying was, I don't know when it was like 1920 or something like that, 19, somewhere around that area, and the government took everyone's gold away from the citizens because they needed to revalue it, and then that is when you were able to buy it again. And so, does it say?
Yeah.
1920.
Yeah.
1920 to 1932. Ooh.
Okay. So, from 1870 to early 1920s, the gold standard was the basis for the international monetary system. So it ended around 1920, and then 1920 to 1932, as well as from 1944 to 1971, the United States unilaterally terminated convertibility of U.S. dollar to gold. So you was right.
Yeah. And this right here. This is on Wikipedia too. The fun fact, our money was backed by gold once upon a time, right? And so yes.
Yeah, I remember that a little bit. I remember a little bit about the. Shout out to you for remembering that off the top of your head, for real. Because I remember a little bit about the Bretton Woods Agreement.
Yep.
Historically, the silver standard and the bimetallism, whatever that means, have been more common than the gold standard. The shift to international monetary system based on the gold standard reflected accident, network externalities, path dependence. Great Britain accidentally adopted the de facto gold standard in 1717 when Isaac Newton was the master of the Royal Mint, set to the exchange rate of silver to gold too low. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on, man. It's good to know the history of the money, man.
Absolutely. Follow that money, man.
Good to know the history of the money. You know, one of these days we can do a segment on the history of money because it is important.
Yeah, sooner or later we could get into, like, I remember you had just said we could talk about what it would look like to go get these safe haven assets, but maybe that could be the live stream itself. Want to go get that safe haven asset?
Yeah, bro. We could go do a Wealth Wednesdays and do a IRL stream. You know what I'm saying? That sounds good to me. Okay, so last segment that we got for you guys is this personal segment, man. We're gonna be just getting personal. Yeah. You know, we gonna let the stocks and the crypto go, and we just gonna vibe out and talk for the last few minutes that we got, right? So we're gonna be talking about gratitude a little bit because we got Thanksgiving coming up, but we're gonna be doing it a little bit different, man. We ain't just gonna sit here and just say we're thankful for all the good things or all the joyful things, right? We'll be sitting here talking about having gratitude for the battles that we don't talk about, man. Because everybody relates. We all got things that we relate to, but a lot of people don't say things out loud, man. Whether it's, finances, relationships, struggling with who you are, the worth of yourself, purpose, discipline, all these things that we could list on and on. I think one of the things that we could all be grateful for is just those battles that we don't talk about. Those times where you're in your room or you're in wherever you're at behind closed doors, and it's you, yourself, and you got God, and you just working at building life. You working at building what it is that you're trying to build, and you just trying to stay steady, man. Yeah, bro. You can touch up on that.
Yeah.
We can just go from there.
Yeah. Also, at the beginning of this Full Circle live stream, you had asked what was I thankful for, right? And just this right here alone opened up my mind a little bit about the fact that even when you do go through good times, it was coming from a bad time, or not bad, but not exactly where you want to be. And so I am also thankful for the times that allowed me to grow as not only a human, but, a trader and the things of that sort, right? Just the overall growth. I'm glad that I've been through the depths, right? And been at one of my lowest points multiple times and then was able to bounce back. That's top tier, especially when you can get your head screwed back on your shoulders and really show not only yourself, but the people that are around you that, you know what I'm saying? You got it, right? And you got your life under control. And the things that we go through is minimal compared to what it's going to look like, the outcome, right? Excuse me. And being okay with that. And being okay with being okay with the bad times, but also not settling for the not as good times, right? The bad times. And so, just wanted to touch up on that a little bit and be transparent because, day to day, being who we are is it's not easy, right? It's not hard, right? But it definitely isn't easy in any capacity. And so being able to rationalize with both sides of the playing field, right? And finding that good sweet spot is where it levels you up. It levels everybody. It would level anybody up, right? So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Now I wholeheartedly agree, man. Being grateful for those things that that we made it through that we didn't get to talk about to anybody. Being grateful for those hardships, being grateful for those moments that made us who we are. Even though that we tend to look back at certain things and think negative or think that it happened to us, but a lot of things happen for us.
Yeah.
And once you shift your mindset from why me, or why did this happen to me, look at why it happened for you. Because we all got sacrifices, we all got quiet moments of grinding, and we all got nights where you kept going but didn't talk about it. We all got battles that nobody saw on social media. We all got moments that you felt like you couldn't do it, and it was only God that was able to give you the strength to do it. We all got those moments, and I think it's important that we pat ourselves on the back for those moments, and we kind of wear those moments like a trophy, man. Take pride in those moments, man, because it's easy to say we're grateful for all the good things, but it's harder to say we're grateful for the bad things that shaped us into who we are anyway. So because it's all perspective, good or bad. It's all perspective, subjective.
Yeah.
Anything that happens for the bad can always be used for the good. So for sure, I got a few questions that generated from Mr. ChatGPT himself. So let's start with number one, man. What is one silent battle you fought this year that nobody knows about, but God carried you through? If you want to share, you already got yours. If you want to share for us, I think I kind of got to think of mine. But I think I got it. Yeah, you got yours already?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, like silent battle is laziness. I'm not gonna lie, fighting the fact that there's a lot of things that I want to do but don't know where to start. I wouldn't call it lazy, but just complacency, right? And I go through being a little bit complacent. Even what I'm saying, still, it's not even like it's something that was cured or fixed, right? There's still times where I feel complacent, and I also, moments after that, I snap into reality like, hey, I got full circle wealth to look forward to, right? I got Wealth Wednesdays to look forward to every Wednesday, right? I got things that I need to take care of at the end of the day, so I could sit here and be like, damn, But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I know that there's things that I have put in place for me to maintain, right? And so, yeah, being complacent has been not a struggle, but it has been a battle, right? And working to be not only disciplined, but trusting myself to put and to remain solid, and remain, what I'm saying? Yeah, remain strong and keep this momentum going, because I'm not gonna lie, when that ball's rolling, there ain't no stopping it. It's a snowball effect. That it's an avalanche after that, after the ball rolls. And so after getting out of that hump of complacency, top tier work. I think that's my best work, when I realize that, who I really am. I could sit here and genuinely say, like, when it's time to really double down, there really ain't nothing stopping me, for real. If I'm being completely honest, and I see that time and time again. But my thing is, instead of realizing who I am, I need to remain who I am and not really lose myself, so to speak, right? And yeah, overcoming that it's a goal, honestly. If I'm being completely honest, it's something that I'm working on. It's not even like I ain't even just pulling something out my ass, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but it's real life, you know what I'm saying? This is something that I'm absolutely working on. And, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was definitely. I'm glad you said that. That's something everybody can relate to, man. Especially people watching. On at the beginning of this journey. Just of growing and trying to build themselves. It's real. I like what you said about not realizing who you're in, like not going back to realizing who you are, but remaining who you are. You know, and honestly, like that was that it is a difficult part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you go from, you know, because I remember going through that part of, you know, who I am, and then tapping into who I want to be, right? So who I am, and then tapping into official go-getter, and, you know, tapping into the content, and tapping into the business side, and tapping in. I remember having to go from, you know, from here to there, you know, type of thing, and pulling myself into it. And then eventually, like you said, it got to a point where, you know, you remain in it, and it comes with time. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is a battle, because you're battling the new self and the old self, right? So anybody who's watching, man, you know, keep battling, man. You battling that old self, keep battling it with your new self, and eventually, I watched Jim Rohn, right? And Jim Rohn is a motivation guy, man. And he just talks about, man, like, the more you choose your future, the more the voice of your old self disappears, right? So the more we do Wealth Wednesdays, the more we get on the stock, the charts, and we talk about the markets, the more we do whatever it is that we want to do business-wise, the less we hear that other voice, right? And then eventually you wake up, you're just going to be like, damn, this is me. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So definitely I'm glad you said that. And for me, my thing, a silent battle this year that nobody knows about, but God carried me through, man. Truly going from that transition of boyhood to manhood, like truly going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us really feel like, you know, we are all men, we are all grown. You know what I'm saying? But manhood is a different type of thing than boyhood, right? And once you actually really, you know, really walk into it, you won't really know what it's feel like. And that's been the silent battle that I've been dealing with all year, you know, even from leaving, you know, my mom's house to going to get my own spot, and the journey that I had to go through with that, just sticking with, you know, just handling my responsibilities different, you know, realizing that I have a very important role now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I the man that I am, and really walking into just being a service to others without draining myself, and just handling this responsibility of manhood, and still without letting it take over, right? Because all it is a test of the growth. You know what I'm saying? As you ask for more, you get more problems. You know, but it's all about how you handle it, because, you know, I know I can't handle it. God wouldn't have blessed us if we couldn't handle it. So it's all about just remembering that. And but yeah, walking into manhood has definitely been something that has been a silent battle that I have, that I've been, that God's been carrying me through. You know, it gets difficult. You know, you know, being there for other people. It gets difficult. You know, still having to show up for yourself and show up for others. It gets difficult. You know, realizing that, you know, a lot of it falls on us. Yeah. Shit, like, we are the answer. And just dealing with that, you know, because it's a lovely feeling. I love it, but at the same time, a lot comes with it. I'm not gonna act like a lot doesn't come with it, and that it's not a weight, you know, sometimes. But I think that's why it's important to have like-minded people around you, have partners. You know, I got my boy with me. You know, that takes the weight off my shoulders. We can relate and talk about it. You know, I got, you know, my partner, my girl. She takes the weight off my shoulders. I can talk about it with her. You know, I got my other brother. You know, so when you build a community, we got full circle wealth. Right? That's why we built full circle wealth, man, because we understand that, you know, just walking into this journey of life is hard, but let alone walking into, you know, us being young individuals, whether you're a young woman, young man, you know, this is not easy. Right. So, yeah, man. Next question. You want to touch on anything before I go into the next question, or you good?
Yeah, a little bit.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Coming to men is not easy, right? I low-key wish I said that, low-key. Like, you know what I'm saying? This guy right here really, if you guys really knew, if he was really behind the scenes, man, it's nothing but growth over here, bro. It's like, it's really, it's not insane because it's supposed to happen, but it's like really, it's crazy when you really see where people come from, you know what I'm saying? And really know the story behind everybody's story. And so, yeah, man, becoming a man is not easy, and any department.
Matter of fact,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me like, I want you to really like shed some light on this, like really give your advice or your tips, whatever it is that you feel.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because that's why I say community is very important, right? Because who helped me walk into this journey of my life, manhood. You know, I got my boy right here. You know, he's been living on his own for the past few years. He's been doing what he needs to do in this manhood world for the past, couple years, few years. Just he's been doing it, and this is new to me. But being able to see him confidently navigate, whether it was confidently or not, just being able to see him navigate it, right, gave me the confidence to be able to do it myself, right. And he always kept his head high. So touch on that a little bit, man.
I got you. So personally, when it comes to growth, I've always been the figure, right? And I've always been the person that people look up to, even my mom, you know what I'm saying? Even my people that are older than me, right? They always look for me for inspiration. And sometimes that, just like you said, even when it's not confident, like I kind of been on this guide of growth without even knowing it, right? Even when I was in high school, I had to really depend on myself. And so that kind of like, it became the thing to where I'm kind of like numb to it, right? When I see growth within myself and I realize that I did something that is outside of me, I kind of don't look at it as like a damn, I just overcame that. It's kind of like the normal, because this is what I'm saying is I've been put into the position to be this person from the jump. And so I can't really what I have to tell you is the fact that you can do it. Mm-hmm. He did it, right? I do it. We do it together. You know what I'm saying? Even bro behind us, you know what I'm saying? You can't see him, but he do it. You know what I'm saying? It's real hard when it comes to doing it. It's not hard, but it's not easy, right? It's a task in itself. And so ultimately you're yeah, man, you gotta be strong. And I know that a lot of people that's watching, if you're watching this video, right, you're strong enough. I know that there's somewhere in you that you know that you can do it, because everybody in this room knows that they can do it. And yeah, it's not like an effort thing. It's subconscious, right? We both knew that we had to step up to the plate and bat, right? And so we're waiting for that perfect strike, because by that time we run around all three of them bases, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was that was a good point too, because like there's no really way you can actually prepare for this without putting yourself in that position.
You gotta dive.
You gotta just dive.
Yeah.
Like even when me and Mel really started working together, man, like he was already, I'm going to his house. I'm in the city. I'm going to his house, and I'm around his family. I'm seeing him live his life, and I'm going back to my mom's house still, right? But it hits that point where it's like, he's showing me that I can do it, but I'm just not in position to do it yet, And until you put yourself in that position to do it, you'll always be contemplating. Yes, exactly. Boy, you'll always be contemplating. Exactly. Man, I'm in this room. I know my sister's pissing me off when she walk in. I know my mom is getting on my nerves when I hear her outside screaming and watching TV. I know I don't want to be here, but I'm in this house. There's no reason for me to leave. Exactly. There's no real reason to leave besides the fact that I want to. Yeah. So it really took me and my mom, like God put this, man, me and Mel had a conversation. This is my brother, man. When it happened, I called him straight up, bro, I gotta go. Yeah. Me and mom have a little altercation. Mom kind of, hits my ego and my manhood. Mm-hmm. So I make the decision, man. I didn't have everything together, but I left. Yeah. I left, bro, because I knew when I'm in position, I'm going to figure it out. You guys just got to put yourself in position. Yeah. I'm not saying there's that line of also being prepared. I knew I was prepared enough in my mind to go through this and figure it out. If you're not that type of person yet, obviously wait until you get to that point, right? But, bro, you got to just put yourself in position. There's no way you can necessarily prepare for it. You got to just dive, like Flash just said, man. You got to dive, man. I dove off the deep end, man. That was in May. Man, I dove off the deep end. I had started my job, man, and I left, didn't have it all together, right? Built the portfolio again, got me the spot that we're in. We're sitting in the studio now. Bro, we dove off the deep end, man. So I'm just saying that to say, once I put myself in position, I knew I could do it.
Yeah, you see that real quick. And that goes to show what you had to sacrifice too, right? Mm-hmm. You had to sacrifice. I wouldn't say the relationship with your mom, but you know, this you had to sacrifice.
Yeah, that old version of me.
That old version.
That old version of my life.
Exactly. And that leads us to our next question, ultimately. And it says, what sacrifice did you make this year that looked small on the outside but took everything on the inside, right? Prime example right here. In the flesh, though. It's not even like no, you know what I'm saying? This is in the flesh. He just told you. And before I even asked the question, he sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, his home. Nigga, like
no, for real. He watched it happen, bro. Like what? Like what?
He sacrificed his being comfortable, right? Being in a space where he's unfamiliar and getting familiar. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody can show you that this shit is real, excuse my language, it's this guy right here. He is the foundation of all of this right here. You know what I'm saying? This guy been on the markets. This guy been on the charts for years, way before I started. Inspired me to do this, right? Just like I inspired him to be out of his comfort zone and go make his own way outside of mom's house, right? And that's just how I go. I also had to take that sacrifice as well because I was beefing with moms too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mom hurt the soul low key. And it hurt my heart to really realize that, like, you know, that's okay. Because my mom can only do so, as a mother, you can only do so much to raise a man. It's up to the man to raise himself at a point. You know, we both really don't. I don't have no father really like that. And so I really had to dig deep and figure out who I was, right? Also meeting this guy's dad. His dad is there, right? Just not he's not in the household, right? So that put the toll on a young man's mind to become a man because there's no parental guidance from another man. And so personally, kind of back to that first question too, that's kind of what made me step up is the fact that I know that I need to be the person that my father wasn't, right? And, you know, not necessarily no shade because, you know, everybody goes through their life in different ways. And so really realizing that I had to sacrifice being comfortable with myself and my environment to go be where I want to be. Top tier, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like just like I was saying, this guy right here, living in the flesh, this is top tier sacrifice. And you know, you have to sacrifice something to be where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple, man. Yeah, we just gonna leave it at that, man. Cause we bro, this is a good episode. Y'all better watch this joint. I'm gonna be mad if y'all don't watch this shit. I'm up, punch you in the face, boy. Don't be, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
Hey, but but look, man. Hey, like he said, man, sacrifice is inevitable, man. But like true sacrifice, man. I was just you know, I was doing a stream yesterday, and I was talking about some Bible verses, and I'm gonna end it like this, man. But along in the Bible, man, they got principles after principles about, you know, how giving is the ultimate way of letting go, right? Letting something go is how you gain more, right? So, man, sacrifice, man, whatever it is that you want, right? Truly put yourself in a position to put it all on the line, man, and you got it, man. It's your boy Fisher Go Getter, man.
It's your boy Flash. Great Wealth Wednesdays. We got to the personal tip, right? And this is a little bit of a longer video, but these are the ones that matter, right? These are the ones that count, especially when we can set aside what we do as our profession, right? And we could be, you can, as a viewer, you can get closer to us. This is why Full Circle is so detrimental to everybody's lives, right? It's not just a movement, right? This is a lifestyle. This is way past on the internet, right? This is way past putting up a front or whatever the case, right? It ain't no fronting. Ain't no fronting. But it's way past the internet, right? This is our daily life, right? Daily bread, low key. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
That being said, Full Circle out, man.
Yeah, bro. Catch you guys next week, man.
See you next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let me. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on.
Man, somebody come rob him. He got the baby and the tears on. Somebody come rob him.
Cool fit for today.